it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass.
Hey. Welcome to the Really Charlie Podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Perry, and I'm just coming to you today. Just want to do sort of a flash podcast, Some things have been bothering me lately, especially with a lot of things that are going on with, Facebook and restricting me from bringing up my live, podcast. It's just driving me crazy, They want identification and everything that they're asking for. I'm providing to them. Excuse me. It's my guest in the back, my past guest, So everything they possibly want, I provide to them, and something comes up, it's not clear. It's any, and I'm taking a very clear picture, very, very clear picture of the, the ID, and, I'm just trying to do the right thing. But what's interesting is that most of the time, that, when all these things started happening is after several posts, whatever it may be, but, the censorship is just getting crazy, and I'm not the only one. There's many, many other people that are more extreme than I am. And I mean, I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary. I'm kind of mild mannered and putting guests on here. Well, and the restrictions just keep coming over and over again. I'm not changing anything. I'm not doing anything, but the repeat thing is actually, the request for, 2 verifications, and I have multi devices. I have, iPad, iPhone, my laptop, my PC. So I'm confirming everything that I'm supposed to through those devices. And then, for some reason I'm getting restricted, and so that's my dilemma today. Hey, maybe I don't want to blame it on President Trump, but I put something about him, in a good way, here he is, he's being restricted by Twitter, and for the things that he said or did. And every day, Mr. Putin from Russia is tweeting every day, and he's killing thousands of people on a daily basis in the Ukraine. And he's just tweeting away. No one else in Russia can tweet, but he can, and so it was just one of those things that, regardless of whether you agree or disagree with President Trump, he hasn't done what Mr. Putin has done in a short few months, or weeks rather. Actually, it's going on months now. But March 4th, I think, he's been killing Ukrainian people, and a lot of that's probably got to do with the biolabs. They want to call it whatever they want, but the U.S. has put some labs in there, and we talked about it yesterday, me and a relative, and we were talking about how the U.S. got mad decades ago when Russia went to Cuba, and so Russia's really not tolerating the U.S. going right outside their borders, and placing labs in neighboring countries, and they're saying, hey, we're not going to have it, just not going to have it. All right. So here we are on YouTube, on LinkedIn. I try to get us on Facebook, and just can't do it. I made some changes in the podcast, and what I did is I am now part of Buzzsprout. And the one thing I like about Buzzsprout is that they record and keep great analytics of what's going on in your podcast. And, I just, I like that, especially where I'm trying to do some things and with the podcast and get things going, a little bit more than what I have been, whether it's marketing, monetizing, so on and so forth. I'm trying to do what I can, so excuse me. So feel free if you want to talk about a few things, let me know. And we'll just chit chat about a few things in the comment section. Whether you're on LinkedIn or YouTube. And we'll just discuss it. I've been learning quite a bit from different podcasts that we have going on. And one of the is a couple of people that I've joined their podcast. Well, I've been following it, and it's Investigate Earth, which is on iHeart, and they host is Striker, I think it is. But I listen to them on Spotify, and they're very, very fascinating. Some of the things they come up with, and they talk about conspiracies, and one with JFK assassination, the Martin Luther King assassination, the Kyle Rittenhouse case, the trial. And so real interesting, good husband and wife team. And I'm very happy that I joined and follow them and listen to them on a daily basis or whenever they present something new. Just try to straighten my mic here. So for all of you that know me out there, one of the things I like is I'm a very I love sports, love my Patriots, Celtics, and just Red Sox. I just love sports. I love the sports in general, and I'm very, very happy with the trade the Patriots just did with our rival Miami Dolphins, and they traded for Devontae Parker, and I like that. And one thing about the local sports stations, and media outlets, what they like to do is they're really digging deep to criticize a lot of things that Bill Belichick's doing, and even trying to add some friction between him and the owner, which won't happen. This dude hired him; they become good friends now, and Kraft's got his back, and I think he's proven it over and over again. And he's not going to get in the way of Belichick and what he's doing. So, just got to leave the dude alone, man. Let him do his work. We had a season where there was no success, and bounced back last year and made it to the playoffs. Got blown out by the Bills. They just came to play, and they were ready, and they're clearly the better team at this point. Just like the Patriots were the better team for many, many years against Buffalo. So what I'm saying is that, leave Bill Belichick alone. You want to criticize him, have some substance behind it, and the guy's doing things in a certain way, and everyone couldn't understand what he was doing prior to last season, and then all of a sudden he just bam, just got all kinds of free agents based on the money that he saved over the years, and it made the team very, very decent. In my opinion, I enjoyed watching almost every game last year. And this year, he's kind of reserved. He's not breaking out, the checkbook and spending a lot of money on different people, different players. He's just letting everyone kind of do their thing. And he didn't mind Miami going after Tyreek Hill. He didn't mind all those different things that they were, the other teams are going after. Look at the Rams. They got Bobby Wagner, and it just goes on. Cleveland with Deshaun Watson. So letting those people make historic moves, in the NFL, when it comes to contracts, Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, did that solve their problem? Is that going to be the solution to, them one and done all the time, every year, and I think that, no, it isn't going to solve it, because the reason why Green Bay continues to lose, and it's got a lot to do with their quarterback. And now what do? They give them all that money, and then they lose their number one receiver to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I don't really mind what Las Vegas is doing, only because they're really trying to get their team into a position where it hasn't been in a very long time. So they got a new coach. Quarterback is stable. Number one receiver. Picked up a couple of defenders, and with Chandler and Crosby, bookends on that defensive line. I think they're going to be great. I think they're going to add that 3 to 4 second pressure to any quarterback up there, behind the offensive line, and it's going to pressure him to make some decisions very, very, very quickly. So in that case, defensive backs, linebackers can jump routes and make key interceptions or deflections or stops. So I think they're going to be all right. All right. I try to find one of my. I try to find that podcast that I talked about on YouTube, if I can find it. But how you guys like my pictures in the back? There's a Laura Lovelight, Chef Woodbury doing his thing, has his YouTube channel, Let's Eat. There's a Laura again. All right. So I try to honor my guests by putting their picture behind me during every show, every podcast. And I appreciate everything they've done. We had many, many episodes with many people. And I just want to highlight people, give them their flowers. They are standing, and that goes for you. If you want to come on the Really Charlie podcast, just send me an email, a message. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you think a guest should come on the podcast, let me know. Just send me an email at reallycharliepodcast@gmail.com. Or find me on Facebook. We have the Really Charlie Facebook group. And I have my personal profile, and also we're on Instagram at Really Charlie podcast. Uh, let's see. So I just want to bring the attention to this particular podcast, that's investigating Earth. Very, very interesting and informative. These people, they're not no slouches. This husband and wife team is really doing their thing. I really, really appreciate their intellect and their investigations into many things. Agree to disagree with, some of their views may be not to your liking, but I think that all in all, you know, they're very thorough, and I like I like what they're doing. So, all right, let's see. I don't know if I could find it on there. Well, I'll continue to look for it, but it is on Spotify. It's pretty cool podcast. Let's see. All right, let's see here. All right, got my friend Tina trying to comment on YouTube. Tina, I think what you have to do is make sure that you're logged into YouTube so they can see your name if you have a YouTube account. So you might have to create a YouTube account in order to comment on the feed here on YouTube. Let's see. I'm gonna try to type a message to you. So Tina's going to be a future guest on the Really Charlie podcast. Can't wait. Inspiring author, she's going to try to get her book out there of numerous poems, and can't wait to get her on the podcast and highlight her creativity and her artistic work. Let's see here. So, all right. And I want to say happy birthday to one of my children, Tania, 28 years old as of April 1st, also known as April Fool's Day, but she was born on Good Friday. And I always tell people that she's not an April Fool's baby, she's a Good Friday baby, All right. Let's see. So what I'm going to try to do is look at some things that are going on, and one of the things that, without even saying, is the Will Smith, Chris Rock incident, where Chris Rock was assaulted by Will Smith. And the reasoning, the alibi, is that he was defending his wife over the joke. And I get it. You want to defend your loved ones, especially your spouse. So the thing is, there's so many things that he could have done other than what he did. And one of the things that he did was get in front of millions of people and strike another man. If you kind of look at it, he's not doing that at any other place, any other venue. When he's out in public, there was an incident where he pushed someone, I think it was. But anyways, so he took that stage and took that venue, and he decided to strike a man. And there's a lot of criticism going out there of why he did it, stressed out, marital problems, whatever it may be. But he did it. It was his decision, and he went up there. Chris Rock made a great decision and just trying to laugh it off as the comic he is, and he did. And just moved forward, moved on. If they were on that stage and they started fighting it out, what would happen? If those two men decided to fight it out on stage, the controversy would have been tremendous and probably hurt both those gentlemen for their future careers and endeavors and anything that they possibly do. I mean, right now, the one that's winning is Chris Rock. He went to the Wilbur Theater in Boston, sold out each day. Prices went real high, and he lucked out. He really, he's the one that's been benefiting from this ordeal. Initially, everybody thought it was fake, staged. To me, it wasn't, and I just think that Will Smith, you could have done a lot of things, and one of the things you shouldn't have done is get on that stage. Should have sat there and just sat back, enjoy the show until you got your award. So, all right, let's see here. So, all right. Oh, I hope this was good. I really wanted to bring out some material so I can kind of download it to Buzzsprout and just create a buzz, on that new platform that I have, and just basically, try to direct everyone to that new platform, and that's where I'm gonna have all my podcast. And I mean, you can still get it on Anchor and Spotify. It's just gonna redirect you to Sprout rather, and so the podcast is gonna continue on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. It's gonna continue on. And I'm going to continue to provide you with a good show. We have 2 shows coming up on one day, on Wednesday, kind of back to back, because of the time zones in different areas. So I really want to get, my guest on that day on the podcast. So, you just do what you have to, to make it happen. And I will have Marvin Speller, Coach M100, in the beginning of the evening, and we will talk about mental health and making it a priority for you, me, and them. And also, right after that, we will have Roberta Nadelia from Chicago, Illinois. She's born in South Africa. And she's a very, very interesting person, and can't wait where she shares some great, great stories about, her country and her people. And we just go back and forth for a little while. And she also has her YouTube channel, but I can't wait to have her on there. And I'm trying to get more and more people on the podcast. And I'm branching out, I'm from New Bedford, Massachusetts, and I'm trying to branch out and get out there to the world and really get to know other people across the country, across the world. So, but So see me on Wednesday, April 6th, I believe, 7 p.m. And then after that podcast, we will have a second one. And, so continue to support the Really Charlie podcast. And I would really appreciate if you like and subscribe to the channel, and you have any recommendations or any guests that you want to have on here, just let me know. Take care. Have a good night. God bless.
It's the Really Charlie podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie podcast. Bump into your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie podcast. Bump into your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass.